All right, it is 8:37 on a Thursday. We're going to transition from one guest to another. You know, she's one of my favorites in coaching, period. In coaching, period. Not just guest. Does a great job with her team, as evidenced by yet another Big Ten crown. Her team is the number one seed in the Big Ten tournament. And Ira, you know, I didn't realize. I mean, you know, we were talking to Hutch every week about the power surge that they seem to be showing this year, but I didn't realize that it was as great as it is. I mean, you know, the team is hitting it out of the park at basically a record pace right now. So you know, it'll be interesting to see in the postseason what that does for them, because they've been mashing the ball.
They took a hint or two off of what we were doing off the tee, apparently, Sam. Carol Hutchins' appearances on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA are brought to you by Advantage Sports, your home for baseball, softball, football, hockey, soccer, volleyball, lacrosse, ice hockey, and field hockey equipment and apparel. They carry all the top brands, including Rawlings, Easton, Mizuno, Wilson, and more, and they have over 6,000 square feet of training facilities. They can service all of your high school, college, or travel teams' needs. Advantage Sports is located at 2019 West Stadium Boulevard and online at catchtheadvantage.com.
And joining us to talk about last week's sweep of Penn State, the Big Ten tournament coming up, is Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins. Hutch, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Beautiful morning.
Yeah, Coach. It is. You know, weather is really finally starting to come around like we want it to, and it's right at the right time as we get into postseason play for your squad. Before we talk about the Big Ten tournament, Coach, let's look back on the week that was in Michigan softball. You had an outstanding showing. You had senior day. Let's take us through your 3-game sweep of the Nittany Lions.
Well, since last Thursday, I have to tell you that's we wind up and we don't stop until the season's over. And of course, we had just a fantastic event Thursday night at the Academy. Friday night was our pink game, and the house was, we had to start the game at 5:30 due to some graduation ceremony celebration. The house was filled by the third inning, and you could look at it fortunately or unfortunately. We finished it in the fifth inning. Mm-hmm. And, we've been playing good softball. We pitched well. We hit well. We were hitting on all cylinders in that game, and it was a lot of fun, and then we scurried off to the Chrysler Center where we celebrated the seniors who were graduating, Haley Wagner and Sarah Driesing and Becca Garfinkel. And then Sunday, again, gorgeous day. We just played good softball. And again, it was another, I believe it was a run rule victory.
Yes, it was.
Playing well. And Sunday was our senior day. It's always... it's always a little bit emotional, a little bit bittersweet, but I told the seniors Friday night, they asked me if I was going to cry, and I said no. I said, I'm not going to cry till the end of the season because we got a lot of season left. Mm-hmm. So we all agreed that was a good philosophy, and nobody really cried. We enjoyed the day. We won the game in another mercy. We brought Haley Wagner in to close it up, and again, we were one of our goals was always to be the Big Ten outright champion, and our kids earned it. They had to win every game down the stretch because Minnesota was right on our tail, and obviously that Minnesota series ended up being the difference maker. But really, every game you play is a difference maker because you never know which game's going to make the difference. But I was pleased to win it outright, and I told them we're going to celebrate. We celebrated, and now we're back to business because Michigan softball hasn't won the Big Ten tournament since 2006. And we did have a few-year hiatus with no tournament, but I'd like our kids to go down there and really we're gonna see some good teams. Assuming we can advance through, it just keeps getting better and better, and it's a lot of fun. It's competitive. It's tournament time. It gets us ready for the postseason, which begins next week.
Coach, something that you and I talked about before, I think it was Saturday's game, but you addressed this a little bit at the Academy, and you talked about distractions, and you guys had the ultimate weekend of distractions. Is that a good preparation for your team? Thursday the Academy, Friday the pink game, Saturday you guys have have more things going on. Sunday, obviously, with with Senior Day and the dogs at the park, Marley running around, etc. You had built-in distractions for the entire weekend. Does that help?
Well, I'll tell you what, the coach hates that stuff, but I thought we persevered through all of it. It is a big distraction, all of it, Senior Day, and as much as we love the academy, it can be distracting for the kids. And when we talk about that, it's just a matter of them being locked in and focused versus having a lot of things to concern about, whether their mom and dad or grandma are here at the academy, or or their family show up for Senior Day, and nothing that's major in life, but can be distracting to the players' focus on the game. And I thought both Friday and Saturday we seemed a little slow to start. We didn't seem as locked in, but I thought we did a good job of working through it.
Coach, and we're talking to Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. Every week that we talk to you, we're talking about multiple home runs, and I mean it seemed like it was more than usual, but to see the actual numbers is jaw dropping. 101 home runs through 72 games at last check. I'm curious, this strength program that you instituted, was this a new thing? Was it a more intense thing? I mean, kind of what brought that about?
What? I'm sorry. What program did you say?
Your core strength and fitness program that you guys are.
Well, when we added our new facility, we added a third floor fitness room, and we do Olympic strength training in the natatorium weight room, which is, of course, benches and squat racks and Olympic-style lifting. But what we added was a couple days a week. Really, it was a regular add as opposed to occasional of a circuit training that's really core-centric and hitting the boxing bag with one of the stations, kettlebell swings, ball slams, all sorts of explosive movements that include explosive for your quads, your hams, your glutes, and your core. Mm-hmm. And I think our kids are definitely fitter, stronger. We seem a step faster. I think we have more stolen bases than we typically have. But right now we're leading the nation in home runs. We have 101 home runs in 54 games.
And your record is 103. Stat, and your record is 103 in 72 games, right?
Yeah, I would say our championship season, we hit 103 home runs. The most notable that year was the last one we hit, Samantha Bentley, in the 4-1 win against UCLA. But I think when you still look at, people ask me, well, what's with all the home runs this year? I'll tell you. I can give you 4 big answers. And Sierra Lawrence, Sierra Romero, Kelly Christner, and Kelsey Fusala. And then you throw in there Lauren Sweet has 11, and Taylor Swearingen has 9. And we've just got kids in the lineup who can hit. And they can flat out hit. And if we've done anything, we've just really worked on striking the ball square. Mm-hmm. That's been a big emphasis for us. Being aware of your bat angle, hitting it square versus only hitting a piece of the ball. And I think when you swing with confidence, you're gonna swing better. And we've had a lot of good confidence as well. But we've got some big time hitters, and you look through that middle of our lineup, and they account for a lot of those home runs.
Yeah, I got to tell you, in that number, that comparison that you just gave really says it all. 103 in 72 games is the Michigan record. They have 101 in 54 games. Coach, how is Susala's ankle?
She's doing well. She kind of rolled it last week in practice, and we kept her out a little conservatively. She was feeling better. We finally got her in to hit on Sunday, but I didn't want to take a chance on setting her back, knowing we need her in right field tomorrow and we need her next week. So she may not be full speed, as I think she's a little faster this year, but she's good to go, and you'll see her in right field.
Gotcha. And so, Coach, what's the it's one of those things where you get the first day bye, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yep. The teams are playing today. The 5 through 12 seeds are playing each other, and then the winners of those will play the 1 through 4 seeds tomorrow. And then Saturday is the semifinals with there'll be 3 games, 2 semifinals and the final game. All those beginning tomorrow are live on the Big Ten Network.
Yeah, looking
so
forward
the
to
fans will be able to tune in.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Coach. Good luck. Keep up the great work. And I don't think I mentioned this in the interview at all. 8 straight. It's 8 straight crowns for the Michigan softball team. So
Well, we're proud of that, but this is Team 38, and they've got a Big Ten ring to look forward to. But my question to them is, what else? We're not done, and I hope we're not going to be content just to be the Big Ten champion. So we're hoping for a lot of season. We're hoping for Sunday night at 10 p.m. is the NCAA draw. It'll be on ESPNU, I believe. People want to watch it. We're very hopeful we'll be at home next week, but I can tell you that I expect a very tough regional. I expect to have some really good teams. So we'll see when it comes up on the board, but we're hoping for the best.
All right. Well, Coach, good luck as always, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Michigan softball coach Carol Hutchins.
Carol Hutchins brought to you on WTKA, brought to you by Advantage Sports, your home for baseball, softball, football, hockey, soccer, volleyball, lacrosse, ice hockey, and field hockey equipment and apparel. They carry all the top brands, including Rawlings, Easton, Mizuno, Wilson, and more. And they have over 6,000 square feet of training facilities. They can service all of your high school, college, or travel teams' needs. Advantage Sports is located at 2019 West Stadium Boulevard and online at catchtheadvantage.com. And Sam, how about some other things? I didn't want to bring this up with Hutch while she was on the phone because these are things that coaches don't want to hear about when the season's still going on. But she just was named for the 8th time in her career the Big Ten Softball Coach of the Year. She doesn't want to hear about that stuff because she's got games left,
it makes
right?
sense, right? 8 straight titles.
Yeah, so she's won 8 of them in her so she continues to pick up those accolades. You had Megan Betza to become that was named the Pitcher of the Year, and was the first Michigan pitcher to do that since Haley Wagner did that a couple of years ago. Betza and Wagner and Kelly Christner and Sierra Romero were named first team All Big Ten. Sierra Lawrence, Abby Ramirez, Lauren Sweet were named second team. Wagner and Lawrence were, along with Christner, were named to the all-defensive team. So a lot of accolades going around as they lead into the Big Ten softball tournament, which she told you which starts today. And I'll read you the schedule real quick so people have an idea. It starts at noon today. The game that is of significance to Michigan today is at 2:30. That's Maryland versus Penn State, because tomorrow at 2:30, Michigan plays the winner of that game. Should Michigan, as expected, beat the winner of today's Maryland-Penn State game, so they'll play tomorrow at 2:30. They win that game, they would play Saturday at 3:30. And if they win the semifinal game Saturday at 3:30, likely against Northwestern, they would advance to the Big Ten championship game, which will be at 8:30 on Saturday night. So, as she mentioned, there's 3 games in Columbus on Saturday. 2 semifinal games, 3:30 and 6, and then they would play again at 8:30. So they play the first game. They would be in the first semifinal if they make it that far, and they should. And then they should be in the 8:30 title game, and I'm sure that they'd love to play Minnesota one more time to take their 2-1 series lead that they series advantage they've had this year and make that 3-1. Mm-hmm. Because she said that series was huge. Think about it. They won the game, the Big Ten title outright. They beat Minnesota 2 out of 3 games in Minneapolis. If they had gone the other way, then it would have been flipped, and they would have been 1 game behind Minnesota. So that series was huge, and so I think everybody wants to see them play one more time. Would be one more really good game.
Yeah, I think how many Big Ten games did they lose this year? What, 2?
Michigan, 21-2. Penn State was, or Minnesota was what?
And Iowa, I think, was the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Penn State, Minnesota had 3 losses, and so 2 of those obviously being to Michigan.
Yep. So.
Significant series earlier in the year.
Well, I mean, man, the number, but the number I keep coming back to is the one that I talked to her about. They hit 103 home runs in 72 games.
Yeah, they're leading the nation, and they're gonna run away with that number. Yeah.
And there's no question. I mean, and to hit 103 in 72, and this year 101 in 54.
Yeah, and so they talk about the we talk about a lot with the Tigers, who's protecting who in the lineup. Well, that top of the lineup all protects each other, and actually kind of starts with Abby Ramirez in the 9th spot. Because Abby does a really good job once that lineup goes to the first time. She's kind of like an extra leadoff hitter. And you have Sierra Lawrence, who can knock it out of the park at any point in time. We know what Sierra Romero can do. She's the best hitter in college softball. Kelly Christner's had some phenomenal sophomore campaign. Susala has been great. She didn't mention Lauren Sweet, but Lauren Sweet had, 5-6 RBI in the RBIs last weekend. And she's been doing a great job behind the plate, just missing a few games to injury. The top of the lineup is phenomenal. And the bottom of the lineup does a good job. The top of the lineup is tremendous.
Yeah. It's big time.
It'll be fun watching them on TV this week, and they should be able to get 3 dubs and advance on. And they should be putting themselves in a position to not only have regional action here next weekend, but super regional action the following weekend, Memorial Day weekend. But we're a long way away from there. And I know Coach doesn't want to hear about that stuff right now.
Well, folks, hey, Mother's Day is this weekend, and the best gifts for your maize and blue moms in your lives are available at the M-Den and the Victor's Collection at the M-Den. They have everything shoppers need to take care of your Michigan mom, so make sure to stop by any of the M-Den locations around town. Briarwood Mall, Main Street, on State Street, as well as the Victor's Collection at the M-Den at 307 South State Street for all of your Mother's Day needs. The M-Den and the Victor's Collection, the official outfitters of Sports Talk 1050 WTKA. We got to get to a break. Back on the other side here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, the official voice of University of Michigan Sports.